The Justice League has teamed up with the Power Rangers, and now we have a problem. Lord Zed has gone back with Brainiac to Angel Grove to destroy the entire planet. You know what that means. The crossover continues! This is going to be issues 4, 5, and 6. I hope you guys enjoy. Welcome back to Power Rangers and the Justice League. When we last left off, Zed had taken Brainiac's drones and brought them to the world of the Power Rangers, Angel Grove, and the superheroes, the Power Rangers and the Justice League, were looking for a way to get to the Power Rangers universe. After some time, Billy and Cyborg's theories came to life as they both smile, stating that they found it. Billy then turns to everyone, stating that they can do it. They can create a hole in space. However, the problem that they're going to run into is that it would just be a random hole that could lead anywhere. One of the scientists says they need to link their Earth to make it even possible. Everyone begins to wonder what they could use to link back to Angel Grove, and that's when Tommy steps up stating, "Hey, I may have a link. The Dragon Dagger. It's still connected to the Dragon Zord in our dimension. I can feel it." Billy tells him it's perfect. Now they just have to open up a rift underground, and if they lose it, they could accidentally cause the fatal collapse in the Earth. Diana says that they're going to need to move the Hadron Collider somewhere else, and another of the scientists shouts that you just can't move it. We're 17 miles underground. Diana tells him that she understands. They'll be very careful with it. John can steer it while Superman and herself will lift it. Together, Diana and Superman lift the largest machine in the world right out of the ground. A short while later in the Javelin, Tommy hands over the Dragon Dagger, stating that he's gonna want this back, and John Stewart, the Green Lantern, tells him, "I understand. Let's fire this thing up." Cyborg hits the switch, and within minutes, the portal begins to appear. Billy says that as long as their calculations are correct, it should bring them to their world. And Tommy asks, "And if not?" And Cyborg tells him that we've just created a giant, hyper-efficient superhero shredding machine. Flash tells him, "Don't worry, I'm the only one fast enough to actually feel if we're going to be pulled into oblivion." And Tommy tells him, "How is that in any way comforting? The thrusters in the Javelin kick in and the ship pushes through the portal, but what they find is a dome surrounding Angel Grove." And Jason asks, "How do we even fight that?" Cyborg tells him the process has already started. Trini asks what process, and Superman tells her that it's Brainiac. He's shrinking the city. He is taking it for his collection. They can't stop it now. If they do, the whole city will be torn apart. As the Javelin lands, Zach runs out and Diana tells him that she's sorry. They have to let this play out. After that, they can act and save the Power Rangers world. And Zach shouts, "Forget that!" And he begins to beat on the dome. Inside, he can see his parents, and they too can see him. And he tells them that he's sorry. The last thing that he did was yell when he left. Zach's father says that they can't hear him, and his mother tells him, "Just be safe. We love you." As they talk through the glass, the light shines and the city disappears. And Zach falls to his knees, and that's when we return to the beginning of the story that started in the last video, with Superman telling him, "I know how you feel. I've lost my home too, but together, we have a chance at bringing yours back. It's not too late." He then scans the skies and he sees Brainiac's ship. It's still in low orbit. Batman tells them that they have another pressing issue. Every time that Brainiac takes a city, he destroys the world that it came from. And Diana tells everyone that they all need to make up a strike team to access Brainiac's ship while another stays on Earth as the defensive force. Batman says, "I agree, which is why I brought some things to assist us." Back inside of the Javelin, he opens up a locker filled with equipment, telling everyone that Brainiac's drones and Zed's putties aren't alive, so we don't have to hold back. Jason takes hold of a sword, and Batman tells him that is the sword of Azrael. If the user's will is strong enough, it can. But before he can finish, the blade lights up in a fiery blaze. And Flash says, "Yeah, that'll do it." Kim picks up a bow and arrow, notices that the arrowhead is a boxing glove. Flash tells her, "I know it's a bit weird." And Kim tells him no, she gets it. It's for when you want to punch someone who's a really long way away. Jason holds up the Red Hood mask, stating, "We're gonna need to hide our faces. Once we've saved the world, we still need to keep our anonymity." So the Power Rangers suit up in the equipment left behind by past heroes, and they head out. Superman rockets into space to attack Brainiac's ship directly, while Cyborg blasts in through the side to sneak everyone inside. Cyborg taps into the ship's systems, and he says that he's located the power coins. And seconds later, Superman crashes in! He scans and he says that he sees them too. They're guarded, but nothing that he can't handle. Moments later, Superman shoots back out of the walls, tossing everyone their communicators and their coins. And just as Zach suits back up as the Black Power Ranger, he's struck with a blast. Everyone shouts asking what happened, and Batman looks up and he asks, "Cyborg?" Brainiac responds through Cyborg, stating, "He's here, but now he's under my control." And then he shoots into Batman. Billy quickly morphs, and using the trident in his hand, he stabs into Cyborg's chest, telling him, "I'm so sorry about this." Meanwhile, at the NATO headquarters, the world's powers gather to discuss the next steps in losing an American city. Some of the members begin to argue with themselves as to who actually did it, and a voice calls out, telling them that this is not the work of another country. Diana steps in, telling them, "This threat is beyond the capabilities of your world." One of the members shout to apprehend the woman, and Diana continues walking unfazed by the men trying to stop her. She says that there is really no need for this. A security guard fires his gun and Diana deflects the bullet, telling him, "I won't risk the lives of innocent bystanders. If you shoot again, I'll have to be more forceful." She continues telling them, "It is true that I am not of your world, but I do know what happened to Angel Grove, and my friends know what happens next." Just then, Jason, Kim, and Tommy walk in, and Jason says, "You may not recognize us, but we're the Power Rangers. Angel Grove has been taken by a being who intends to destroy the planet. He's working with Lord Zed, and we don't have a lot of time." Diana then speaks back up, telling them, "Right now, everyone needs to set aside their differences. You'll all be needed. Ready your armies. A great evil is upon you, and you must resist." As the Flash locates Zed creating monsters, Brainiac launches his drones to attack Earth. But back inside of Brainiac's ship, Superman looks at one of the tridents sticking out of Cyborg, and he asks what happened. Trini says that when Brainiac took over, Cyborg was going to kill them. And just then, Cyborg stands back up, with Brainiac stating, through him, "You are correct, and I still will." As Cyborg swings, Superman grabs him, telling him, "I can't let you do that." And Batman jumps up, telling him, "Hold him in place for a moment." Batman begins working on the wires that are sticking out, and Zach asks, "What is he doing?" So Batman tells him, "I'm gonna try and reboot him. That is, if everything that I've uncovered about Cyborg's system is correct." Superman asks, "Does Cyborg know that you can do this?" And Batman continues to work, and Superman tells him, "That's what I thought." Suddenly, there's a spark of electricity, and Cyborg looks down, asking, "Why is there a hole in my chest?" Billy says that he's sorry about that, but he had to stab him, though he aimed for what he figured were the non-essential human bits. Cyborg pauses for a moment, and then he asks Batman, "What did you just do?" And Batman tells him, "Not now." Trini then says, "Look, we don't have time for whatever that is. We need to get Angel Grove off this ship." After another scan, the team locates the room holding Angel Grove, and Cyborg mentions that there is someone else on board, someone called Alpha 5. Over in the control room, Brainiac tells Alpha 5 that he's never had the chance to interact with another binary creature who has achieved sentience. Though he is curious, he has achieved so much, so why choose to work with the Earthlings? Alpha 5 says that he guesses it's because he wants to. They're good people doing good things. There's nothing wrong with a being to feel empathy. Only machines can't feel, so why destroy planets and put cities into bottles? Brainiac says, "It's because I consume their knowledge so that I may learn." And Alpha 5 tells him, "That sounds a bit selfish. Thinking for myself isn't sentience, it's knowing that we're not alone." Seconds later, Superman bursts through the wall, but before he can get a hold of Alpha 5, Brainiac grabs him by the neck, telling him, "I knew that you would come, and I have something for you, Superman." He reaches out holding a piece of kryptonite, pressing it to Superman's face. But before the weakening effects can take place, a sword is thrown into Brainiac's back, and Trini shouts to take him. Zach and Billy get to work cutting Brainiac into pieces, and as Brainiac drops the kryptonite, Batman quickly and quietly catches it and tucks it away. As everyone gets ready to head out, Billy says, "Wait a moment, we're taking Brainiac's arm with us." Back on Earth, the other team continues to fight off Zed's monsters and Brainiac's drones, and then Superman comes crashing down. He hands over the power coins, telling them this should help, but it would seem that you're doing just fine without them. The others land, and Billy says that he has an idea of how they could beat Brainiac, but him and Cyborg are gonna need some time. Jason says that's fine, they're gonna buy them all the time that they need, as Superman says, "We all will." Zed shouts, "That's right! You're gonna join the others as your planet is crushed!" He then throws another of his enlarging bombs, but before he can hit a monster, the Flash runs in, grabbing it. He takes the bomb to Alpha 5, telling him, "You look like you're the only one who can't fight, so keep that safe." But while everyone runs back into the battle, a drone appears before Alpha 5, and Brainiac tells him to hand it over. "You have no choice in this." Alpha 5 tells him, "Actually, I do have a choice, and I choose to fight for something larger than myself." As the bomb hits the ground, Alpha 5 springs up as large as a Zord, and he begins fighting back the giant monsters. Alpha 5 knocks out one of the monsters, and as its body falls, it heads straight for a large building. Superman and Diana fly over to catch it, and Alpha 5 shouts, "Ay, I'm so sorry, I could have crushed people." Jason tells him, "It's all right. This was your first time punching a Leviathan. We've all been there." He then turns back to the Flash, telling him, "We need to get Angel Grove away from here just in case." But before the Flash leaves, Jason takes a closer look at the city and notices that the command center isn't in there. Hanging from a necklace around Zed's neck is another small bottle with a small piece of land. The command center. Zed asks Zordon, "Can you see okay from your tiny prison? Because this world is about to be destroyed with the tools that you provided." As the fighting continues, Kim pops back into the Javelin, asking Billy if they're close to finishing whatever it is that they're working on, because they can't hold these things back forever. Cyborg smiles, telling her, "It's okay, let them come." He runs outside and begins to shoot at the drones, and only after a few seconds, the drones begin to take control of him. Brainiac says, "Cyborg belongs to me once again, and now it's time to study him." Billy says, "No, it's not. We managed to scratch the surface studying the arm, and we have a surprise for you." Brainiac tells him, "There is nothing that you can do to surprise me. I am a 12th level intellect." Billy responds, "I'm not sure what a 12th level intellect is, but I'm pretty sure you're making that up." As Brainiac goes to talk, his words short out, and Billy tells him, "We may have put a virus inside of Cyborg." All at once, the Brainiac Brainiac drones begin to fall and Cyborg laughs. Now it's time to delete you. As the Rangers look back, they can see the dinosaurs beginning to break free of Brainiac's control, and Zed watches as his plan is falling to pieces, shouting, "I won't let this happen! You will all be destroyed!" He breaks 2 of the enlarging bombs on himself, and Jon Stewart asks, "Did anyone know that he could do that?" Diana tells him, "Fear not. It just made him an easier target." Zed holds out his staff, shocking everyone, and Batman sees that this isn't an ordinary attack. He's using magic. Zed then thrusts his staff down to stab Superman, but before he can, the Megazord appears, knocking him away. Alpha 5 quickly runs up from behind, tackling into Zed, and at that moment, Jason reaches out, snatching the command center container. He then hands it back to Alpha 5, telling him to keep this safe, and that's when he's punched. Jason asks if it was supposed to hurt, because being this large does take some adjustment. The Megazord pulls back with his massive fist and then punches right into Zed's stomach. The Megazord releases several more attacks, and just as the sword is held high, Zed slams his fist on the ground, knocking the Megazord away. Just as the Megazord gets back up, Zed has already disappeared. And down on the ground, Diana spots him running away, and Kim jumps out, shouting, "I got this." She pulls back on the bow and she fires the boxing glove arrow right into Zed's face. She lands, telling him, "Okay, that was pretty much the most satisfying thing that I've ever done." A short while later, using Brainiac's ship, the Rangers restore Angel Grove to its normal size. Everyone then meets at the juice bar before returning home. Bulk and Skull look over at everyone to see them hanging out with the adults and ask where they were when things got bad. As the two walk up, Bruce stares at them and he quickly turn and walk away. Zack asks, "Do you always like intimidating new people?" And after their time of celebration, it is time for the Justice League to return home, and with them, Brainiac's ship. The Rangers all wave goodbye, but Alpha 5 turns away, stating, "Aye, aye, aye," except he keeps repeating himself, "Aye, aye, 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 I am Brainiac." And there you have it, the conclusion to the Justice League and Power Rangers team up. Now, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, as we will continue to bring you the Boom Power Rangers storyline, which is pretty much what this universe is that they teamed up with for the Justice League. And you can also find more Justice League here at this channel, obviously. Click right here to get more Power Rangers storylines, or click right over here to get more Justice League. And don't forget, you can find me on Twitter at Comicstorian. There you'll find me giving single tweet reviews, which are my opinions on every comic as I read them. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.